Why do you believe it's important for Christians in particular to wrestle deeply and honestly with the question of violence in the Old Testament?
I think that how we wrestle with these issues is as, if not more important than the conclusions we come to, because it touches on other fundamental realities in our journey with God, things that are very basic, like how to live with unresolved questions, how to work patiently with the Bible and sit patiently with it, and how to wait on God and how to listen to different perspectives, how to let the text have its say and not overwhelm it with our conclusions about what it should say, to let it mess with our preconceptions and set the terms. And especially for Protestants who claim to want to be guided by scripture and have that as the chief authority, I think we've got a real challenge when we rush in impatiently to address the anxious questions we bring, whether about violence or about a whole number of matters. And so to me, digging into some of the hard issues like violence, but there's other issues too, is an occasion for discipleship and how to journey with God over the long haul through unknowns, but also in a way that doesn't just throw our hands in the air and say it's all utterly mysterious, that we can move forward and we can hold things with confident humility,
Mhm.
and that there's so much more to these texts that you discover in the process of wrestling through difficulties, that some of which have little to do with answering the problem of violence, but some of them address that, but others, it's the things that you discover and gain along the way that are valuable. And so all of that to me is really important.
Absolutely. And I think also because we live in a skeptical age, especially as we engage either with believers who have questions or unbelievers or skeptics, they can see through flimsy answers. They can see through thinness of thought and treatment of the text. And so I tend to think of it as an exercise for our own souls.
Mhm.
I love the way you put that there's unresolved mysteries, that there are things that, the secret things belong to the Lord. And yet also, as we meditate on the scriptures, it's kind of not letting go of God until he blesses us. We wrestle with the text until we get the blessing. But again, I think your book is particularly valuable for maybe those who are on the edge
Mhm.
of, can my faith withstand critical scrutiny as we read the scriptures? And the answer is, man, there are a lot of great solutions in one
Mhm.
sense, but also if we try to microwave this, if we try to shortcut it, we're going to really destroy our own witness as well as our own souls. So there are deeper blessings for the treatment that you give us here. And I love that
Yeah.
to critique the violence we see in scripture.